So I'm Ben Brown here at Evolution Martial Arts in Sparks, Nevada. I got my good friend T here, who knows more about jiu-jitsu than I do. It's true, but it's cool. We help each other. So we're going over mount escapes. The last video was knee elbow, which is my favorite. I think it's the most fundamental, but you've got to be able to do a trap and roll as well. Also known as bump and roll, but really should be called trap bump and roll, because that's what's involved here. So Travis made a bunch of mistakes and I got mount, which truthfully wouldn't happen. Not to you, but look, when you're doing jiu-jitsu, somebody's always better than you, okay? So his safety position here is his elbows are in tight, his triceps are on the mat. This is kind of SVG's thing. He's not allowing me to climb to high mount. He's not allowing me to pull his arm out and get up in his armpit. So this is how he stays safe. If I can punch him, he's gonna bump me, make me put my hands on the mat. So like, even if I can hit him here, I can't do damage here. But from up here, I can do a lot of damage. If I get high mount, big trouble. No amount of covering your face at this point is gonna help, right? It's just, that's the beginning of the end. So you gotta be able to maintain this position right here. Trap and roll, he's gotta trap one of my arms. There's a couple ways to do it. If it's no gi, there's kind of only really two ways to do it. But with Travis connected to my hips, so he's gonna give me some upward pressure with his hips, and he's connecting to me. So he's already starting to mess with my base. He makes me put my hands on the mat by bumping or bridging. So he can trap one of my arms with an overhook. Look, let's go back. What he just did, he reached up and around, and then he's gonna compress his elbow to his ribs with his body, right? So now I'm good and trapped. That's before he really tries to lock in that overhook. Go ahead. He's gotta be above my elbow, which he is, okay? So this is the beginning of the trap and roll. Imagine 4 legs of a table. I'll go ahead and put my hands out. Okay, 1, 2, 3, this knee is 4. He's trapping one of those, just dropping my arm. He's taking away one of the legs of the table, and then he's gonna force me into that quadrant. So a couple of things have to happen, okay? He's trapped this arm, he wants to trap the same foot on the same side. This is what a lot of people think is trapping the foot, but it's not, because I can still get that out of there. What he needs to do is lay his hip over onto my calf. Now my foot is truly stuck. Here's another detail that new people get wrong is they leave their head in line like this, okay? We're looking to take them at this angle, kind of right over the shoulder. Matt Thornton calls it the skinny X, okay? Not 90 degrees that way, this way. He's gonna increase his odds if he crunches his body this way, gets his head out of the way. Now there's all this space. So my main way to stop this is I'm trying to base here, but if he gets his head out of the way far enough, it doesn't matter what I do. He's rolling me over, and he's on top in my guard, okay? Let's go back. So we'll do it again at almost, a little more normal speed. Again, I'm in mount, he's keeping himself safe, okay? Whether I try to reach into his collar or I'm trying to touch his head, he's gonna off balance me, trap the arm, okay? So now he traps the foot, lays his hip on it, moves his head out of the way, and away I go. And you do have to kind of make sure that their hand's not down, because all that weight you can break their wrist pretty easy. Yeah, so be careful of that with your partners. So that's one way, is make them post on the mat, overhook the arm. If you have the gi on, another common way is, because I'm going to start attacking with the gi on, the most common attack is a cross collar choke. So I feed in, I've given him my arm essentially. He's going to trap it with both arms, and you see how he pulls his elbows tight and is releasing pressure there. So same thing, we're going this way, he wants to bridge his head that way. Same, trap. Yep, so sorry, I had it wrong. He's got this arm, we're going that way. So let's turn this way, Travis. Turn here. Yep, so he's got my right arm. He's gonna take me to where I can't base. If he took me that way, I could base. He's taking me that way. So he traps my leg, lays his hip over on it, I can't get it out, and away we go. Okay, let's do that one again at more of kind of a full speed. Come around here, Jordan. Okay, I've established my mount. He's not letting me climb to high mount. It's time to start attacking. Trap and roll, okay? Really trap, bump and roll. Last way you can trap the arm is any kind of 2-on-1, which is essentially what Travis got there. But you can get the 2-on-1 kind of any way. You know, we're in here, we're messing around. He gets a hold of my hand. What he has to be careful of there is, can I crawl to high mount? So let's go back. When we're hand fighting, he's got to maintain this inside space. Okay, he can't let me in there, but he can still hand fight from here. I'm reaching for stuff. He gets a hold of my wrist. Any way he wants. He's got the gi. He can augment it with his other hand. This is big trouble for me. He's pulling it across my center line. Any kind of 2-on-1. So let's go with a different 2-on-1. Yeah, this 2-on-1, which is very similar to when I had my hand in the collar. Any kind of 2-on-1. And this is kind of a general rule that I like to follow. If you isolate a limb, connect it to your core. And now they have work to do to get it back. I can't get my arm back without doing some work. Meanwhile, he's trapped to my foot, he's laid his hip on, and we go over. The reality is that you're probably gonna have to combine different escapes against people who are really good. So let's show what that might look like. Travis is going for, you know, maybe I reach in, he starts to go for a trap and roll. I come out, he frames, right? Now he's into his knee elbow escape. So they often go together. You're never gonna get someone who's really good with just one direct thing. So Travis starts to go for his knee elbow, and I commit one of my arms, and now he traps it, and now I'm trying to get out of there, and he goes back to knee elbow, and see he's already getting his hips out. So the reality is you have to combine these movements together, which is why you got to drum to the point where you don't have to think about what you're doing against someone good. Anything to add?
No.
All good.
Takes
Thanks.
time.